All right, and so now we're just cutting in this kind of the method that I cut.
This is the new toy that you got?
Yeah, this vat and these actual curd knives.
And this is part of a Kickstarter, right?
Yep, part of the Kickstarter.
What cheese is this here?
This is the Edmontonian. This is the farmstead goat tongue that we make. That we age for about 3 months.
And that's raw milk?
It is raw milk. We want that natural flavors to show through of the farm, and hopefully we do a fairly good job with it.
Yeah. So we're just breaking down the curd size a little bit here to expel a little bit more wet.
This is just a start, and I do this by hand at first, and then I'll throw this on here. And we do a little bit mechanically second. Not too much. The red row I do a lot more cutting on, and a lot more stuff to it. It's an actual tone make that I do with the red row. So there's a lot more to it in a way in terms of the actual process. This one's pretty quick. I'm trying to get it in and out, just a little bit away, a little bit of centeresis. Which is the scientific term for that.
Scientific term for what?
For
expulsion. Okay, cool.
Sorry, you got some leftover whey over by your feet.
That's all right.
But yeah, so this is just I've been trying to kind of formulate how we make this cheese, and so I need to be able to do it so that they can reproduce it.
Yeah.
If like I say I had an appendectomy tomorrow, or I got in a car wreck, or I died, or whatever, I'm the cheesemaker here, and all these cheeses I've developed.
Sure.
Ultimately, these are all my babies, so therefore, it's all up here.
You want to get a recipe on paper standardized enough that somebody else can replicate.
Yeah, because these are Caromont farm cheeses. These aren't my cheeses necessarily; they're Caromont farm cheeses.
Absolutely.
So that's why I'm trying to get it standardized, because as much as we like to say, oh, it's farmhouse, whatever, still consistency is key.
Absolutely.
You got to at least have somewhat in the right range.
You want some variability, but you also have to keep it within accepted standards of consistency.
Yeah.
So basically, we're cutting this. It's getting smaller.
Yep, cutting it. I'm cutting it so that I get it to about a pea shape.
Yep.
And I'm doing it. I could do it all by hand, and that would be fine. Like I wouldn't have a problem with that. But what I like with this is this way. I can say, at this speed for this amount of time, and it should all relatively be the same, because the curd should be relatively the same firmness. You do the initial cut. The reason I do the initial cut is that there's a little bit of gap between the bottom of the knife and the bottom of the vat, and that way I can actually cut that bottom part. So I need to cut that bottom part first, and then this way it'll start to move around when I do all of this. Whereas if you just use this thing, you miss that bottom part and it just stays alone.
Gotcha. So basically, just from here, you end up doing what with it in the rest of the steps in a quick.
And so from here, all we're doing is we're trying to heat it up at a particular rate, so that we get a certain amount of whey expulsion, and so that we get the cultures heated up to a certain rate so that it acidifies at a particular rate. And those are the two major things: curd size, temperature, and all that is going to be for your final product. All cheeses are made in the vat, and that's just like a general idea. It's like what you see 3 months later, it matters what happened in the vat. It doesn't necessarily matter what happened from day 4 to month 3. If you make a crappy cheese in the vat, it's going to be a crappy cheese 3 months later.
Absolutely.
So it's really important to kind of follow your steps and everything. And so far, this has worked. I haven't felt like I've wanted to change what I've been doing.
Sure. And what is artisan cheese making? Like, if you had to put a name on kind of artisan or craft cheese.
Certainly, as opposed to non-artisan cheese.
I think that artisan cheese making is farm with the kind of the coagulation of art and science, whereas I feel like industrial or commercial cheeses misses the art and it misses the farm, and it's just pure science.
Just pure science.
You know, and so they look at it. You know, the end product is different because the end product we want something that we have pride in, and something that represents us. Whereas with the commercial industry, you want something that just simply sells at a high margin, at a high cost. And so I think that's where they diverge. You know, that's where the two opposites in the Venn diagram exist, or whatever. So, you know, and then on a smaller Venn diagram, we're three-tiered, whereas I think they're just a simple circle. It's almost like a vertical system where they're trying to do, farm milk to profit. You know, that's really all they think about. Whereas we're trying to get the art, the science, and the farm kind of all somewhere in there.
That's cool.
Yeah.